maybe Clomid or medication to try and help, and it wasn't working. So the consultant at the clinic, we went from GP to consultant to fertility clinic, and they said, okay, we recommend IVF. That's when I was probably 43 starting IVF, and unfortunately multiple cycles, and we didn't end up with a pregnancy. Unfortunately, one of my cycles ended up with what is an ectopic pregnancy, where our baby developed in my fallopian tube, and it nearly resulted in me dying, unfortunately. Fortunately, I didn't, and I'm here to tell my story, but we've had quite a lot of different types of pregnancy loss. So we went back doing more IVF. We ended up going down the donor route as well. And we did fall pregnant again in 2024, but it ended up with another miscarriage. And after that, like along the way, my mental health was really suffering after like loss after loss after loss. And Lana mentioned the lack of support. A lack of support from clinics, like no counselling offered, nobody checking in. How are you doing? How's your partner doing? There's a huge lack. And even with, you feel like you're surrounded by lots of people, family and friends, but there can also be a very lonely journey because a lot of people don't know what to do or say or how to support. And I had some amazing people along the way and some amazing nurses who did, but overall there is very much a feeling of loneliness. Towards the end, we had another loss after that monthly.
Okay, so welcome along to this live stream where I'll be using my Wi-Fi radios, maybe doing some other radio tuning. And hello to you, Tasso. How's it going, my friend? Thank you for joining in. So just having some fun. And by the way, the reason I'm doing this as well is because I'm testing a new battery pack, or power bank rather, that I've attached to this Wi-Fi radio. For those that are on Danny's Discord, you know that I wanted to replace the internal battery of this radio, and it went wrong because the pins that connect to the port, they got damaged. So in the end, I couldn't. I had to take out the internal battery. Can't replace it. But here today, I bought this power bank, which is 10 British pounds, very nice and cheap. I've attached it to the back with the double-sided tape, and I can still use this, attaching the power bank via, of course, USB to the USB Type-C port that's on this radio. So thankfully this radio can still be used, even though I made a big mess, well, in my opinion, of replacing the battery, the internal battery of this radio. So usable, and this power bank is better than the other one, even though it's less power. The other one was 10,000 milliamps per hour. This one's 5,000, but it's slimmer and it's not as bulky. The other one was too bulky, so it wasn't all that portable, but this one is much better. So yeah, I admit I'm still gutted and disappointed about that replacement that was supposed to happen, but these things happen. It's not the first time I made a mess of a repair or replacement, but that's what happens when you do these things. Tasso says, that's great. You improvised and found a way. Yes, thankfully, that was the only thing that got damaged inside this radio. That was the pins to the battery, but everything else was fine because I've had experience of, doing radio mods in the past. And I remember one radio, which was the Texan PL660. I opened up the radio once I unscrewed it, because the radios usually, you've got the lower part at the bottom of the plastic case. You've got the lower part and the top part. Oops, I turned off the stream. I'll go back to it in a moment. Yeah. And what happened was I pulled the case up so quickly that the cable for the speaker broke. Well, it didn't break. It just, the solder to it, I broke the solder to it that it attaches to the speaker. But I can tell you that the solder that they used from the factory on that Texan radio was a lot of rubbish. So I added some of my old solder, soldered it, and it's much better and still working to this day. Yeah. Tasso says, so this model has DAB, right? Yes, it does. And in fact, we're going to check it out now. Okay. It won't get much. Now, the reason the one that Danny has, it doesn't, because I think it's because it is the North American version, the 23F. This one is the 23D, which I would assume is the European version for people that have DAB. Maybe it's sold in Australia as well as the 23D, because they have DAB as well. Let me just check it up very quickly here, because I haven't checked it up. Let me just have a look. So let's have a look. Just typing a question for Google AI. Sorry, I'm using AI, but yeah. Is the Ocean WR23D the European version? Because I've meant to look this up. Okay, then. So according to this here, it says it's strictly an exclusive European version. So I'm assuming the WR23F, because it doesn't include DAB. It's because it's for North America, because they don't have DAB yet. I think in Canada they did trial DAB and it didn't go too well. So yeah, I mean, I don't know if that no. In fact, I don't think the WR23F has HD radio. I don't think so. Would have to ask Danny that. But yeah, for sure, I would say that the WR23F does not have a DAB, but this one, it does have DAB. So yeah, and what we're going to do is we're going to go into DAB. I'm just going to improve the focus on this. Hang on a second. Yes, it does have. Yeah, it does have RDS on the FM band. That is for certain. So yeah, this version has it too. So yeah, let me just improve the focus a bit on the on this camera, so you can see the display a little better. Let me just see if I hold it like this. Sorry, just gonna. I think that's all right. I think that's as good as I can get. Yeah, the display looks fine. Okay then, right. By the way, the screen flickering is not because of the radio, or it's not, when I'm looking at it with my own eyes, it's absolutely fine. It's just that the camera is causing the flicker, by the way. Okay, so just a heads up for anybody watching this and think, oh, the screen is flickering, hurt my eyes. No, it's just the camera doing this. Looking at this with your own eyes, it's absolutely fine. So there. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to go into the menu here, and we're going to select the DAB band. See, FM radio. We'll do a bit of FM as well. Okay, so yeah. So let's see if we can pick up something here. The problem is DAB reception in here, inside my living room, is awful. This is why, for anybody that wants to do DAB DXing or receive DAB signals at home, either have your radio next to the window, like I do, or get an external antenna, which is why, I'm able to do my DAB DXing here, because the building that I live in, they have DAB. See, look, there's nothing here. because it's not getting any reception. So let me just go back. Let's go back here and let's see if I don't think, no. Okay, I think I'm gonna have to do an auto scan here and see how much it gets. See, I think I can get this one, BBC Radio Solent. Hang on. Nope, still nothing. If I point it the other way, if I point it outwards that way, maybe. No. This is, yeah. This is as I suspected that DAB reception isn't that good. In fact, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do an auto scan and see. Go back. All right, okay. Let's see if I can make it do an auto scan. In fact, I'm just going to, I think it's here. Here it is. But I have to do it in the configuration menu. Still learning this radio. So yeah. So there it is, DAB. Don't know if you can see it there. DAB full scan. Okay. So we'll just let it do its thing. See how many stations it finds indoors. Another trick I can do maybe is attach the my antenna. Well, how can I say? Get my cable, the avial cable, whatever it is, the feeder cable, and attach it with crocodile clips to the antenna. It's found 30 stations now. So yeah. How many DAB stations do I normally get? I reckon now, when there's no propagation at all, I reckon about 140 to 150. What I could do later on as well is I can do a DAB scan using my external antenna. I'll hook it up to my DAB antenna. I'll hook it up to my SDR, and then I'll show the software that I use. And I can do a scan, and you can see how many stations I can get on that scan. So yeah, all right. Let's see if we get something here on the DAB band. Right. So let's go back, and it's asking for another scan. I've already done it. Okay. Well, I'm just going to leave it there. All right. Yeah, it's a lot. It's because DAB, we've had it now here in the UK for something like over 30 years now. So like started in 1995, and it has really matured since. The thing is, here in the UK, they pushed out DAB more than other countries. Well, even though other countries, Norway was the first one to have DAB, as far as I know. But here in the UK, they kept on insisting with DAB, even though I don't know why it's doing this. Why is it asking for scanning? I already made it scan. I think it's because there's not enough signal coming through at the moment. That's why it's asking for scan. In fact, what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch off the radio. I mean, I've already done a DAB scan. All right, can't switch off the radio. So I don't know why it's doing that, because, I can hear something. All right, I think I know what it is. I think it's because the signal is low, and that's why it's happening. Yeah. Yeah, so I think that's the problem here. Oh, man. Let's go here. Let's see, station list, empty list. See what it says here. No, it's not getting any signal. Well, this one doesn't have, because it's on a 5A. No, there's nothing there on this frequency range. Let me just go back. Oh, that's a funny one here. Don't know, why is it asking for a scan? All right, okay. So I'm going to restart the radio in a moment. Let it do its scan and see what's happening. Tasso says that's weird. It's scanning stations and then saying no DAB service. Yeah, because I think it's struggling to pick up a signal properly. It probably gets the multiplexes, the information, the data, and all that, but it's not getting a signal. But let's see. So we'll give it one more shot. Yeah. I mean, outdoors it's fine. If I have it up next to the window, it'll get a signal, but I'm going to have to move the camera and everything. So yeah. So let's switch this radio off. Power off. Okay. And now what we're going to do is we're going to switch it on. See if this solves the issue. Right. And okay, I think it's that. It's because there's no signal. So I'm don't know if I can, if I remember where the crocodile clips are or something. But yeah, I don't know as well if I can move my camera to the windowsill. Let me just try something. See if I can get it. See if I can get some signal here. Hang on. So, see if I can move my camera here. The microphone here as well. Hopefully you can still hear me. Microphone is moving. Okay. Right, leave it there. Okay, now it's actually finding stuff, yeah. So yeah. And that's because I've got it next to the windowsill now. So yeah, it's getting the signal. All right. Let's go here.
Is to be celebrated and tell their part of the national story, bringing cultural and arts institutions together with the local authorities, local people through their Member of Parliament. So it's incredibly exciting for Sandown, and congratulations to them.
Tributes have been pouring in today.
Fine. Okay, thanks. Yeah.
Bonnie Tyler, who's died at the age of 75.
Okay, so there you go. That's my local BBC radio station via DAB. A bit of garbling, I heard. But yeah, now, because like I said, because I've got my radio next to the windowsill, it's getting a better signal than being in the middle of the living room.
Continue to flood dance floors and fill karaoke booths. Susie, who had number one hit
there went the signal.
McCann and Devilgate Drive, became friends with her in the 1970s.
Fun, intelligent, good sense of humor, little wicked sense of humor, and a big talent. She's, had a great voice. We bonded from day one because we're both Geminis, so she leaves her music behind, which is the beautiful thing. Bless her, bless her. Rest in peace, Bonnie. I know she can hear me.
Weymouth Sea Life Centre is preparing to say goodbye to a loggerhead turtle that it's nursed back to health. Crush was flown to Dorset for emergency treatment after washing up on a beach in Jersey during a storm in March. Manager of the Sea Life Centre, Seb Webster, says she's now in quarantine before heading back to the Azores.
We think...
What? Music? Don't want that. Sorry.
And Bistro this Saturday starting at 10 a.m. It's run by the Aaron Lives Project, which aims to help those facing ongoing challenges by bringing people together in a relaxed and supportive setting. That's the latest. I'm Philip Keeler.
B2 Radio Weather.
Sponsored by West Wittering Beach. Search for us online to pre-book a guarantee.
And hello, Danny. Good. I think it's afternoon already there where you are. Same as where Tasso is as well. And yeah, very, very nice, good looking radio indeed. Yeah, I agree with that. All right, okay.
Temperatures above average, dry and predominantly sunny, cooler on the coast with some onshore breezes, and highs could go up to 35 tomorrow. It's 31 at the moment in Storrington and Midhurst.
Now on B2 Radio, Drive Time with Crouchy. With more of the music you love.
Yeah, well, let me tell you something, Danny. At first, I did not like DAB, but now I like it. Not only do I like it, but I'm listening more to DAB. when, for example, when I'm in the car, because my car, it has a DAB tuner, I listen now all the time to DAB in the car. The only other thing I might do is I might stream, something from the internet, from via 4G, from my phone, stream it off Bluetooth and all that. But like for example, today I was out and about doing some stuff, driving around, and I was listening to this classic rock station on DAB, because they put really good music on it, and it's not on the FM band. So yeah, the other thing as well is that they did a survey here in the UK, asking how many people listen to, or rather how do people listen to radio, and the answer they gave was that 75% listen to radio via digital, which is staggering in my opinion. Okay, 75%, and then 25% is done via, say, analog, which would be, I would say, mostly FM. Yes, so imagine that. And there's already been talk about doing a transition from FM to digital radio, but they want to do this, the way they want to do it is they want it to be a steady transition rather than just do a switch off and that's it, like what they've done in, for example, Norway and some stations in Switzerland as well. So yeah, let's have a look here. Right, so let me just go back. I'm just going to put the camera back here. Sorry, it's going to lose DAB signal the moment I put it here, because yeah, that's the way it is. But what I said to Tasso is that see, look, it's struggling for signal now, right? Because I'm in the middle of the living room. But what I was telling Tasso was I'm going to do a DAB scan using my external antenna. I can't do it obviously with this because it doesn't. You can only use the internal telescopic antenna. But I'll connect my SDR. And I'll show it here, how many stations I get on DAB. And this is, I don't think there's any tropospheric conditions, but yeah, I get over 100 now. So just shows you. Danny says, cool listening in the car. Nice. Yes. And cool as well, because I had the air conditioning on, because again, we're having a hot day as well. Thankfully, not a heat. Well, I wouldn't call it a heat wave. But it's like almost 30 degrees Celsius. I know that over there you've been having a heat wave, so I hope everyone there is keeping as cool as possible, because when we had the heat wave a week or two ago here in the UK, man, it was horrible. Here in my ground floor apartment, because I know I call it a flat over here, man, I've never been so hot in all my life. I've been living here 18 years now. It's a new property, and that was the hottest I've ever been. And I've been thinking about getting an air conditioning unit, which, by the way, they're all sold out in the UK. And if I wanted one, I think I'd have to wait a month for it, a minimum or something like that. So, yeah. Danny says, makes sense because of the audio quality. Yeah. Sometimes DAB can sound a little bit too compressed, but otherwise it's now very comparable to FM, and even FM broadcasts sound very compressed as well. So for me, DAB, the sound is all right for me now, but it's also the amount of choice, the amount of stations that I can listen to on DAB versus the FM band. Because like I said, the one I was listening to, which is called Radio X Classic Rock, that's not on the FM band. So I'd have to listen to it. The only way I can listen to it, apart from online, is DAB. Tasso says, whatever you get on DAB, do you also pick up on regular FM? Well, I was talking about that now. Not everything. Some yes, some no. The local BBC station that you were listening to on DAB just now is on the FM band. BBC Radio 4, yeah, of course, they're left long wave. They're on the FM band and on DAB as well. I mean, I think also, I'm trying to think of a station that's not on DAB yet. Even the small community local stations, they're on DAB now, including the ones that are here. The likes of Fiesta FM, which is like for Latin Americans here in Southampton. the city I live in, the Outreach stations, which is a local one as well, they're on DAB too. I don't know. I think the Isle of Wight stations, the small ones, that's about 20 miles away from me or something like that, they're on DAB as well. So, DAB is really catching on. But for me, it's going to be the band of the future. That is for certain. Yeah, and eventually they will leave FM. And I don't know what's going to be left on FM. Maybe a small local station or two, a community station. But like I said, even the community stations, they are going on DAB. And they're on DAB now as well. Yeah. And Tasso says, and probably vice versa, where they are only on FM. Yeah. Well, like I said, they're now going on the DAB band, and they're already there. Tasso says, okay, so pretty much whoever is on regular FM is also on DAB, yes. And some are exclusively on DAB, yes. I think that Radio X Classic Rock, because they've got a sister station just called Radio X. I think that Radio X Classic Rock is not on the FM band. I think it's only DAB. So yes, there would be, in my opinion, and in my thinking, there's stations that are only on DAB. If you want to get them, away from getting them, say, receiving them online. So there, I mean, I don't know if the Radio Maria one here in the UK, I think they're on DAB only as well as some others. But yeah, so if you want to listen, I think, to like the station I enjoy listening to, which is that Radio X Classic Rock, you're certainly going to have to get a DAB radio, or you're going to have to get, I don't know, a smart speaker, go online, get the app, and all that. And that's the way we're headed. We're headed for a digital future. Yeah. And this is why I have 3 Wi-Fi radios. This one, the other Ocean one I got a few years ago, and the I think it's the Majority one, which is over there. Right, just that one there. That was my first one. All right, that one there. Okay, so there. So yeah, like it or not, and I've already said the reasons why. Why I'm listening more to DAB. Why I've got Wi-Fi radios. Why I listen more to digital radio as well. By Wi-Fi and all that, and it's because, well, what happened to BBC Radio 4? They're gone from long wave. Medium wave stations from here in the UK and Europe, they've left. Shortwave as well, there's a lot less to receive. And the noise issues as well. I cannot take the noise anymore. I say that. Even as a DXer, when we're supposed to be battling the noise, getting loop antennas and all that, it's just got too much for me now. My patience is running out. Danny, I know you were talking about that yesterday as well, about, fixing radios and all that. Apart from the fix, the replacement I tried to do yesterday, I haven't opened up a radio in ages, in years, in fact, and I don't have the patience for that either anymore. It must be something to do with age, But for me, I'd rather go for convenience rather than, trying to do repair. I'd rather pay for the convenience rather than a free solution. Tasso says, yes, even though medium wave is still plentiful here, especially in major cities, I don't expect that to always be the case, so we should just enjoy it while we have it. Well, this is the thing. I know you had the AM Act or something for cars in over there, so that could mean that the future of AM in the US at least is going to be, there's still some years to go, put it this way. So there. Danny says, yes, the noise is really bad now. Yeah, well, same here as well. I mean, I could switch on my radio now and, put my shortwave, one of my shortwave radios here, medium wave as well, and the noise will be terrible. And and even strong stations, I can hear that noise in the background as well. So it's just an unfortunate thing. So, like I said, go figure why I'm moving digital. Danny says, yes, I just want to listen to a nice audio program without the hassle. Same here as well, Danny. Sorry, I've got the microphone over here. Sorry. My bad. Sorry if I don't know how you heard me. Maybe you heard me a bit far away. I just realized the microphone was on the window ledge. All right, okay, so I've got it back here. All right, okay, sorry about that. We'll carry on. So Danny was saying, yes, I just want to listen to a nice audio program without the hassle. Yeah, same with me. The thing is, with listening to shortwave, long wave, and medium wave, I have to set up my loop antenna, and that means running my cable all the way from the living room to the bedroom, where I hang up my loop antenna on the window. So yeah, and then making sure the antenna works correctly, making sure that all the rest is fine, and yeah, just gets a bit too much after a while. And then the noise as well. Some days it's okay, some days it's bad. And it depends, I suppose, if the neighbors are in or not and so on. But in any case, it just gets a bit, it's becoming a bit of a losing battle now. And of course, with stations leaving, well, yeah, 1 + 1 = 2 there. So Tasso says, I don't think legislation on AM has gone into law yet. Okay, fair enough, because I know there was a lot of talk on it. But yeah, let's see what happens. Hopefully, AM will still be in cars, new cars, and also as well, the future of AM in the US is still going to be good. I know the problem there in the US is that some local or city stations, I think they're turned into sports stations, like I think what happened to WCBS or something like that, 880 kilohertz. I'm going to have to jog my memory through that. But I think that's what's been happening. They're taken over mostly by, I think it's the ESPN stations. So yeah, just let me know. So Tasso says, I know they're working on it. Yep, and I hope it goes through. Hello, James Farley. How's it going? Yep, thank you for joining by. Danny says your audio was fine even with the microphone away. Okay, thanks, Danny. Okay, then yeah, because I know you guys were responding to me, but yes, just I had it on the window ledge and it was behind a curtain as well. So yeah, okay, thanks, Danny. Everybody saying hello to James. Tasso says yes, we have 2 ESPN affiliates here. Yeah, and I suppose one of them would have been recent, or maybe the 2 of them are recent. And Tasso says 3 sports stations in total. Okay, I'm assuming it's because they're more profitable, the sports stations on the AM band, than, for example, something like a news station or where they only do news. And that's why the sports stations now, they bring in the money, put it this way. So yeah, but yeah, the face of radio is changing, and we're going into a transition. And yeah, but all I can say is any medium wave, long wave, short wave stations you can receive, enjoy them while you can, and while the band is clean. Okay, so what we're going to do is I'm going to go back into internet radio. In fact, I'm just going to go into what's in my memory here. Don't know if you can see it properly there. Radio Nacional de España. Let's listen here. Which there's nothing at the moment. I know they've had problems with audio and all that online. Okay, let's try. Let's see. Make sure my radio is working okay.
So how
yeah, it's fine.
People reconcile that? I mean, as I understand it, she wasn't just the best female tennis player in Austria for.
Yeah, it's fine.
4 contactos, es estar en sitios, y que de repente no sabes el por qué te pueda sonar la flauta. Eso es un poco toda la historia. Si tú haces algo bueno y tú te lo crees, acabas haciendo que los demás.
There you go. Radio Nacional de España via Wi-Fi, and remember they left the medium wave band at the end of last year, and I remember some of you were watching. Tasso was there watching the live stream of the relays going off on the medium wave band, because I could receive Radio Nacional de España on the medium wave band. Tasso says, honestly, when ESPN was on 98.7 FM, I would think more people would listen to it than on 880 AM. Sorry, there's a train going by. Hang on. All right, it's gone. Okay, because I live close to the railway tracks. The thing is, when 880 over there was about to go off, they interviewed some people on the street, and they says, "Do you know about medium wave?" And there were people, I think they were in the 30s, maybe in the 40s or something like that, and they didn't have any idea what medium wave was. Yeah. My neighbor, he came in here, he saw my radio, he says, "Oh, what's this?" And I said, "It's a shortwave radio." I says, "You know what shortwave is about?" "I think I heard about it." And I'm like, "Yeah, you don't know what shortwave is, you know." So ask the person on the street now what, say, "Do you know what long wave, medium wave and shortwave is?" They're going to be clueless. They're going to look at you like as if you landed from the planet Mars. So medium wave now, it seems like it's a niche thing, maybe even considered an old man's band, because I saw some posts about people who listen to medium wave, people who are in their 20s and the 30s, and they say they get mocked by their friends for listening to medium wave, because I suppose it is, they consider it like an old man's band. Yeah, so that's the reality of it. It's only people like us, the DXers, people that do know about it, that like radio. Yeah, we do know about medium wave, long wave and short wave. But but the other thing as well is that I was looking at some radios not long ago on known retailers in the UK, and they don't come with medium wave anymore. They come with either FM, with DAB, or with Bluetooth. Right, some with Bluetooth, right? The basic ones only come, the very, very basic ones only come with FM. Some of the more basic ones are coming with DAB as well. And then they also offer Bluetooth. And yeah, if you want to go for something like this, I mean, Amazon now, I was looking, you can get Wi-Fi radios now at a good price for about 50 British pounds, 60 British pounds. I think it's maybe about 70 or 80 US dollars where you are. I don't know what the exchange rate is, but yeah. There you are. Medium wave is just being phased out because stations are leaving that band. So Danny says sports betting sponsors is bringing them the money. The big ones are DraftKings, Polymarket and Calcio. Yeah, I would imagine so. So that's why, like I said, it's more profitable to have a sports station than, say, a news station or maybe even a music station where you have to pay royalties. I think I missed out on one. Yes, Tasso says, when I listen sometimes to the Yankee game on the radio, I put it on the FM simulcast of WFAN 101.9 FM. Yes, because I suppose it sounds nicer than, I don't know, well, I suppose if it is on medium wave, it sounds nicer on FM. Over here, when I listen to the soccer on the radio, it's on DAB as well. BBC Radio 5 Live, that does the football or the soccer commentary, is on medium wave as well. But I have not listened to a game on the medium wave frequency of BBC Radio 5 Live in ages. Where do I listen to it now? It's on DAB digital radio. Yeah, so there we are. So I do the same. Tasso says, people my age have no clue. Very few do. That's very, very few do. And that indeed is true. And like I said, from that news report that I saw, I think that's typical. So, yeah. Tasso says, imagine the younger kids. They don't even care about FM or HD radio. Everything is online or through a smart device of some sort. Yeah, it's the same as well with TV. Over here in the UK, traditional TV viewing via terrestrial, right, which is through a TV, let's say through a TV antenna, has gone way, way down. And most of it now is done by streaming. Now, they say the highest age bracket for people who watch via terrestrial is the older generation. The elder generation, say from around 50 years and upwards. But even so, there's people in the elderly generation that are turning to streaming as well. Why is that? It's the same as with FM and DAB. On DAB, you get a lot more choice, and on streaming, you get a lot more choice. I look at things on Netflix, and all that you don't get over here in the UK. Stuff that they never show here in the UK, or it will be shown on UK channels, but much, much later. Yeah. So Yeah, it's the way things are, the way things are now. And over here, I'll give an example. Christmas time is usually the best time for TV viewings here in the UK, right? And the last Christmas, I think the average was 3 million on Christmas Day. And that's because not only weren't there really any specials, but it's the way things are. TV terrestrial viewing has gone down a lot. And I think the highest viewing program was The King's Speech. That's it, which is done every year as a tradition. Before was the Queen's speech when Queen Elizabeth II was alive, God bless her soul. And now, of course, it's the King's speech, King Charles. So, and that, normally it's not the top program, but it was. And yeah, it's the way it's going now. And I see comments from people saying, oh, my kids, my friends, they don't watch terrestrial, they watch Netflix streaming and so on. So yeah, another example of us going into a digital future. James Farley says they will say, is that a group that I can... Sorry, let me just read that. So I'll just read it in entirely. So they will say, is that a group that I can pick up on Spotify? Yeah, well, let them pick it up on Spotify, on their iPads or I don't know, whatever it is, or anything like that. But I mean, I admit for years now, the way I listen to music as well, or what takes a big part of my music listening, is on YouTube. Why is that? Because we can select whatever song we want on YouTube. It's not like back then where we had to wait for the radio station, or we had to wait for MTV. For those of us that had MTV back then, we had to wait. And when MTV used to play music, of course, we had to wait for our favorite song to come out, or we recorded it. We used to record the favorite songs on the radio, on cassette, or record it via VHS, our favorite video that would come out on MTV, or a music video program that would come out, on a program, that wasn't on MTV, let's say on a normal TV station. And and I've been doing that for years now, listening to music via YouTube. Even if the sound quality is like MP3, I still listen to music there. And even so, the audio quality of the music now on YouTube is a lot better than it used to be, because of the high bit rates of the videos, stream quality, and all that. So there. Tasso says, for me, putting 1010 Wins on and hearing the teletype sound right while they read the news brings me back to childhood. Yeah, I'd imagine so. Some things you listen to the radio and it takes you back in time. That's for sure. Tasso says, on the FM simulcast you don't hear the teletype, and that's a good thing. I say, oh well, fair enough. And Tasso says, same here, I listen to my music through YouTube. Yeah, same as me, and same as many other people as well, because we're not forced to wait for our favorite song to be played on the radio. Of course, you'd have to buy it back then, right? On CD, on cassette, on vinyl as well. And of course, remember the times when we used to download via MP3, via the likes of Napster, LimeWire, and all that. Of course, all that's been taken down. But these days, I would say a big part of my radio listening is, of course, through YouTube, because you can do playlists and all that, which I do for example, in the car. If I don't want to listen to a radio station because they have adverts and they put me off, I will just create a playlist on YouTube and listen through that. So there. Tasso says, I have plenty of CDs and even cassette tapes, but don't bother because I just connect my phone to Bluetooth and it's there. It's the same as everything else as well that we do. I've still got some of my old CDs left. Do I listen to them? No, I haven't done that in ages. My hi-fi unit that I've got here, the CD player, keeps on skipping, and it's something that happens with age. So there. And also I've got another one in the bedroom, but I don't know if it works. So I don't know. But in any case, the convenience, this is why you listen to music via your phone and Bluetooth, because the convenience is a lot better than with CD. It's instant, for example, and that's it. I mean, I have vinyl as well, but I hardly listen to that anymore now. And I'm thinking of selling it and my vinyl collection because it's just, it's gotten too expensive, and the appeal for me has gone off. I'd rather listen via digital now. Even with gaming as well, I've gone digital. I sold a lot of my physical games a while back, and I game off off the drive, the internal drive of a games console, of my PC, and all that, because it's so much more convenient now. The loading is instant. Not only that as well, but if someone was to steal a game I was playing, if I already played it physically, at least I've got it via digital library. So that's another good thing about digital. You can always have it with you if, you bought it through a digital store, for example. James Farley says, is Top of the Pops still on the air? Not anymore, no. I know they used to do specials every Christmas, but I don't know if it's still on. What they do put on are the reruns of the old Top of the Pops over here on the terrestrial channels, like from back in the 80s and all that. Sometimes, and on YouTube as well, they've got the old programs in full as well from back in the day. So there. The thing is, I remember, I think it was when Top of the Pops finished a few years later. I can't remember when Top of the Pops finished now. I'm gonna have to look it up, because there was something I remember that happened back then. Let's see, when did Top of the Pops finish? On 2006, all the way back, right? I remember a couple, like 2-3 years later, there was... sorry, let me just fix the focus again. It's because I don't have the autofocus on this camera. So I think I'm just going to leave it on autofocus and that's it. Where are we? So I'm just going to leave it there. All right, it looks better now. Okay. I remember I think it was maybe a few years later or something like that, they announced they were going to do a music program like Top of the Pops. And then they asked the young people, I heard it in a news report, they said, what do you think about, this program that they're going to do where musicians play and you see music videos like Top of the Pops? And the answer, the majority of them was, what's the point? It's pointless. And I agree with that, because YouTube, the moment it came about, people were uploading music videos and you could watch your favorite song, artist, whenever you wanted. Yeah, so there. So those programs now, they're as good as gone, and MTV as well is as good as gone. Although they've been a reality TV channel for years now, but yeah, and still some music channels about on terrestrial here, but they mostly do the old stuff like the 80s, the 90s, and all that. So yeah, I can tell you the quality of them. I was watching one, and the quality of the picture was rubbish. It looked like they downloaded a video at a 360p video on from YouTube. It looked absolutely awful, so pixelated. Tasso says there's a very good chance I picked up a station from Santo Domingo, Ecuador, on the evening of July 4th on 105.7 FM. If that's the case, it would be a 2,700 mile catch. That would be awesome. Tasso, and it wouldn't surprise me that you got that. I hope you got it, and I hope you recorded it as well. So yeah, Tasso says logically you would think it's a pirate. Well, who knows? But I put up 2 videos on the channel. Yeah, I saw those videos, Tasso. I was watching them a moment ago on those, that station that you got. But yeah, that would be a really good thing. That would be awesome. 2,700 miles. That, I mean, it would be very long single hop via eSkip. Soy FM. All right, okay, yeah. Soy, Spanish means I am. Well, that's soy, as in soy un, I am, so on. So yeah. So hopefully that's what you got, Tasso. By the way, regarding the eSkip activity over here, it hasn't been that great for about a week or so ago now. For just over a week now. because what I do is, see that there, my laptop there, it's connected to my TEF and I'm auto-logging onto my web server. Okay, so yeah, and the auto logs, they're sent to the FM list website, and I can check what I've received. And yeah, there was one eSkip catch from Finland today, and that was it. And yesterday there were a few, but it was very, very few indeed. And yeah, I only bother now with eSkip if I know there's plenty of activity, which there hasn't been for some time. And I'm very happy for my web server to autolog, even though I'm not listening in. So yeah, I will do a video at some point of, because not only is my laptop here acting as a web server for the TEF, but also as a radio web server in general, because I've got it scanning on the DAB band as well, doing infinite scanning. Over there on the left, in fact, I'm just going to show you. So this is my laptop here doing scanning. I know the screen is dark, but I've got the screen turned off, to save power. And over here, that there is my SDR Play, which I've had, the RSP2, which I've had for 10 years. It went mostly unused, but I'm using it lately for DAB DXing, and it's really good. We've been receiving stations from Ireland, from Germany, France, Belgium, from the north of England. Yeah, it's, it's really, really, I'm really pleased with the performance, even though it's a 10-year-old SDR. So yeah, I'm going to do a video about that, maybe give ideas for people about setting up a radio server at home to monitor radio signals. You can do things like Inmarsat as well. So yeah, that's an idea. Tasso says it was very directional. If you see, I had it fixed in that one spot, a little movement to either side, and it's gone. That's the nature of FM signals. They're very line of sight, because that's the thing. The only, even medium wave is directional as well. Shortwave isn't directional because it depends on the ionosphere for propagation and direction. But in terms of FM signals and even DAB signals as well, they are very line of sight. So yeah, so that's and your telescopic, because I think you were receiving it with your telescopic antenna of your radio. Of course, that is a directional. The telescopic antenna is directional. So that's that's why if you moved it a bit to the left or to the right, the signal will go. Tasso says Chicopee suggested it to me, which, by the way, I've got to say it. I know Danny said it yesterday as well. I'm still ever so grateful to him for suggesting that trick to minimize the noise when connecting the TEF to a web server, which is to turn off the screen, which you do by going into the screensaver options and you time out the screen from there. So really grateful. Anybody watching, if you've got problems with your TEF causing noise when run to the web server, make sure to have the screen turned off. Thank you very much, Chicopee. I don't know if it's on now, but in any case, thank you anyway. Tasso says, I will do more digging tonight to see if I can find a similar ID to the one I heard. Yeah, that's the thing about, when you receive stations via eSkip and all that, you do a lot of investigation work, into IDs and all that. So yeah, that's part of the fun of it. So there, right. Any stations anyone wants me to receive via Wi-Fi radio? Any local stations, for example? Let me know.
Gracias, Ana. Sin duda, las temperaturas tienen mucho que ver con estos incendios. Conectamos ya, como siempre, con Torre España en este punto del informativo para abordar la información meteorológica. Mónica López, buenas tardes.
Hola, buenas tardes.
Can I get the voice of Greece? We're going to try. So, let's go here. I think I've gone the long way round to find it. Tasso says it's still online, even though it left shortwave. Yeah, okay, so contains. Let's see, I'm just going to. Sorry, it's going off camera there. just put Greece. Here it is, ERT, Voice of Greece. There you go. It's there. Sorry, I can't play. I don't want to play because it's got music on at the moment. But there it is. I'm going to save it on memory. Okay, just press the heart button here for a little while. There we go. Okay, so Voice of Greece. Yes, it is there. What else was there as well? Let me look. Okay, some other stations. But yeah, Voice of Greece is definitely there. But I've got a feeling it's going to be in Greek language only. I don't think they do like other languages as well. In fact, I don't think they've done other languages, Voice of Greece, in a long time now. Yeah. James Farley says, are there many people that still have old TV antennas on the roofs? Yes. Yes, still. We still have, although we don't have analog TV anymore here in the UK, we still have digital terrestrial. And yeah, you will need a TV antenna to receive that. So yes, I still see plenty about. I still see the satellite dishes as well, although some have been, I see less of them now because of course streaming and all that. There. So definitely TV antennas and still satellite dishes for the time being. Tasso says, there you go, nice. Angel Radio. I'm sure they're on Wi-Fi radio, so let's do a search for them. So we're just gonna put in here Angel. Well, the other way around. I wish this radio had a keypad, which I think in Danny's first impressions video of this radio, he said, I think he said the same thing as well. Yeah, I wish it had. It would make it a lot easier to to look for something when doing a searching for a Wi-Fi station. So yeah, I think this one here, Angel Radio, is the one from here. Yes, it is. Yep. There you go. Sorry, again, music there. But Angel Radio, yes, they're on Wi-Fi, right? And I'm going to put this in memory as well. Yep, okay, it's saved now. Okay, so there we are. Angel Radio. See, they've got another one here. Angel Radio Mobile. Just going to check that out. Yep, that's probably the same one. I don't know if you can see it there, the picture. It's supposed to be like, HMV, his master's voice. I don't know if you can see it properly there. You see the dog sniffing it looks like, like an MP3 player or something like that. Because remember HMV, it was the dog like sniffing or looking at the gramophone, right? And yeah, this one's a modern version of it, which I really like. So yeah. I don't think there's any other. No, I mean these are from these stations, Los Angeles and all that. Yeah, because I put in Angel. Yeah, all right, okay. So there, right. Okay, so Tasso says, there you go, nice. Angel Radio, James Farley, there you go. Yep, that was for you. Tasso says, apparently they do other languages still. I don't know if it's on the radio or in text on the website. I've got a feeling it's on text, because to offer a voice service would cost money. And Voice of Greece, because of the Greek economy and all that, it's been through some rough times. So I've got a feeling it's only a text, on the website, for example, text only. So, yeah. I remember when Radio Exterior de España, they were initially going to leave shortwave, and all the other language services went with it. But then, of course, it came back because of a complaints from the fisheries department. And when they came back, they were only relaying Radio Nacional de España, which of course was only in Spanish language. But eventually they added back in the English language service, although much shorter than what it used to be. I think they added an Arabic service, and then they added the the Russian service as well. So a few languages of Radio Nacional, from Radio Exterior de España, still going or had been restored again. Although I think the broadcast hours are less. I think it's either half an hour or an hour, something like that, compared to, I think before in the past they would do something like 2 or 3 hours in foreign languages. But in any case, I'm glad that has been restored, because I know people, like especially in North America, they like to listen to Radio Exterior de España. And Radio Exterior de España, apart from Radio Nacional de España, Radio Exterior de España is also on Wi-Fi radio. In fact, we're going to try and find it. Just do this. Nope, the other way around. A bit of a long one. Exterior. I'm not gonna put all of it in. Just gonna put some of it in. Oh, I put in the wrong one there. Yeah, it's a shame about this radio, but it's the same with other Wi-Fi radios as well. Yeah. So maybe in future, hopefully, we'll have some Wi-Fi radios that offer a keypad. Makes it easier to search stations. Oh, I think I typed it in wrong. Oh, all right. I think you can go back to the history here. Okay. I typed it in wrong. Oh dear, how silly of me. Oh, because I put in a J instead of an I. Let me just go back to it again. Oh no. Oh. The best thing to do when you find a station that you like after doing a search is to save it. Right, I'm just gonna put EXT. Alright, it's quite a few have been found, but I'm sure it's there. I'm just going to skip all this. Here it is.
Oye, y me acabó cayendo mejor. A mí es que con López fue tras estudiarle, o sea, tras hacer un proyecto sobre él. Tuve que hacer un proyecto sobre él, escribir un proyecto sobre él y luego dije, ostras, pero aquí me está cayendo fatal.
Saved it to memory. Radio Exterior de España, but in Spanish so far. I think in about a few minutes, at the top of the hour, I think they offer a foreign language service. I'm not sure which one it is. I think it used to be Russian at 1800 hours UTC. But we'll check it out later on, see if we can get, a foreign, if they offer the foreign language service in something like 12 minutes. Tasso says, there we go. Says, okay, wow. So it looks like in January of this year, they started broadcasting news bulletins in other languages, including Arabic, French, Spanish, English, and Ukrainian, beginning at 10 a.m. Athens time. Yeah. Well, like I said, they've been doing it for some time, but yeah. They've been offering that. They've been putting in other languages apart from Spanish shortly after Radio Exterior, or maybe a little while after Radio Exterior de España came back on shortwave. So yeah, and Tassa says at every 2 hours thereafter in language. Yeah, so it says interesting. Well, I don't know how long it goes now. I think it's an hour. I'll have to check of that of foreign language services. But before in the past, I think it was somewhere like 2 or 3 hour sessions or something like that. So yeah, Tasso says they stopped doing it and now started again. I'm not sure. I mean, I don't know what's happening with that Radio Exterior de España, but I'm pretty sure that the foreign language services are still ongoing. So we'll check it out in a moment. We'll check it about 18:15, about 10 minutes, which I think is when the foreign language service should start or will start soon. The thing is, I haven't checked the thing. Sorry, for Voice of Greece. You meant, okay, fair enough, yeah. All right then. So let me just go back here. So what you said here, or you said there was, so it looks like in January of this year, they started broadcasting news bulletins in other languages, from Arabic, French, Spanish, English, and Ukrainian, beginning at 10 a.m. on Athens time for Voice of Greece. Okay, yeah, all right, not Radio Exterior de España, Voice of Greece. Yeah, and every 2 hours thereafter in each language. All right, okay then. So that's an interesting one, because I thought that I would have thought the same as you as well, that it would only be in text or on the website, and that's it. So yeah, I mean, that's a really interesting one. We'll check Voice of Greece as well later on to see if they're broadcasting in another language. Yeah, so that is very interesting indeed. So yeah, all right, okay then. So what we're going to do is, what I'll do is, we'll check at the top of the hour for that, for any foreign language services, and then we'll do a DAB scan. Okay, and in fact, what I'm going to do for the time being, I'm just going to get my little Wi-Fi radio. I'll show you. Okay, I'm just going to switch this one off. And by the way, I'm very pleased with my solution for better battery on this radio, or even so, well, the battery's gone. The internal battery is no longer in it anyway. And that is this power bank that I put in. I put in a slimmer one. It's less powerful than the one I showed on Discord, but yeah, much better solution. Slimmer, better, and still more portable. Might have to get another USB cable because the one that came with it didn't work with this Wi-Fi radio, the one with the power bank. And yeah, I think I'm going to have to get a different one, because this one is just a little bit too long. I'm going to have to get a shorter one, and it needs an adapter as well. So yeah, okay. So we're just going to put this one to one side. Let's grab this one. This is my first portable radio. Okay, a bit of dust there. Never noticed it. And yeah, and this is my first ever one. Also from Ocean. Okay, Ocean Digital. Let's switch it on. There you go. SkyTune uses the SkyTune thing as well to find Wi-Fi stations. Some birds. Hear that? There's quite a few. I don't know if you can see it there on the display. There you go. This one's got a basic display compared to the newer one I got. Yeah. Okay, this one's got a basic one, but I like it because I use this as a bedside radio, as a sleep aid, and the screen is not as bright or anything like that. I can have it upside down like this, like I usually do, and it's fine. And it's got a sleep timer as well. So yeah, and yeah, I do like, because I like things of birds and all that. There's quite a few bird stations on Wi-Fi radio. So if you like that, yeah, you've got it here on Wi-Fi radio. Consider Wi-Fi radio for that. Okay, right. So James Farley says, how many presets are on that radio? Well, you mean the other one? I don't know how many presets. I haven't checked that out. But so far, I'm able to, put as many. Look, I mean, this one here, right? The newer one, it's got 3 presets at the top here, but I don't really use them. What I do is I go into the memory here, right? So let me just switch it back on again. Okay. because I've turned off the battery for the battery pack. Hang on, let me just switch it back on again. So where's the switch? Here it is. Okay, so there we go. Okay, it's back on now. Let's switch on this radio. And you've got these 3 preset buttons here at the top, but I don't use those buttons there. I prefer to go, because I listen to a lot of radio stations, I prefer to go into memory, for example, and finding the stations that I've got on memory. So these are the stations that I have memorized after I do a search, because again, it's best when you find a station that you like on Wi-Fi radio, put it on memory straight away. Otherwise, you don't want to go searching for that station again, because you saw what happened there, having to put the text in and all that. Yeah, it's very time consuming. So yeah. So let me just have a look here. And James Farley says, plus it seems like the weight of the battery will keep the radio upright. Yes, because what was happening with the other one, the bigger one I had, battery pack, which I think, did I put it on one side? Yeah. This one here, which was the one I had originally put on the back of the radio itself, I used double-sided tape, same as what I've done with this one, to keep it in place. Yeah, look at it, it's a bit too big. It's good, this one is double the capacity of the new one I've put in. This one's 10,500 milliamps per hour. The one that I've got in there is a 5,000 one. Yes, it's less power, but it's slimmer and it's better. And look, the radio's upright. Okay, whereas this one, the radio was like, when I had this one on the back of this one, it was tilting like this. Yeah, so this one, it's upright and it won't fall back. And in fact, I put it to one side on the table, right? And I had it like this, it was like that when I had this battery pack on. And then when I went to get it, it was flat on its back, because of the weight. So it gave in the end. So yeah, but this one is a lot better. It feels less awkward. And yeah, it's it's portable again. I can put it in my pocket very easily again. Whereas this one, because of the it's a fatter one, and this is an older one because it takes in mini. I think this one is mini B USB or something like that, right? For charging. This one, it's still good. It's still fine. Holds a lot of charge, but yeah, it's. This is the old type I got some years ago, and yeah, it's not very convenient to have on the back here of this one. So yeah, all right, okay. So we'll just go back and put this one here, which is our old Wi-Fi radio. Put this to one side. So yeah, so answered that about the presets of that radio. This one doesn't have numbered preset options here, but it's got memory. Because I've still got stations on memory here. Danny Radio says, nice bird sounds. Yes, really nice. That's why I like listening to that. James Farley says, and of course, that I like my birds, especially because I've got a European robin, or the robin as a background on my web server. So there you go. James Farley says, yes, that's what I mean. How many can you store? Yes, well, like I said, I'm not sure how many stations you can store on these radios, but I suppose it's a good, it's a good number. In fact, I don't know if. Let me just have a look here. Okay. All right. And this one has 37 stations in memory, for example, but I'm not sure how many. In fact, let me just look it up. I'm going to find out and see how many presets it has. So let me just check very quickly. Okay, it says here that it's 99, up to 99 preset stations. Okay, so let me just get this here. So with this one, you can have, it says 99. Okay, and then you got these here. You can select your favorite ones. You can select them like the top three. Your top three stations, you can put them as your top three, and you can select it here on these with these buttons. But yeah, but according to the information I've seen, it's 99 stations. Okay, so now I know, because it's something I've never looked into. But yeah, but in any case, I think that's more than enough anyway. So yeah, especially for me, because like I said, I like to listen to a lot of stations. I think this one might be the same as well. Not sure, but I've got 37 stations, and yeah, it's fine. I haven't had any messages saying out of memory or anything like that. Okay. So Danny says you can add many as favorites. I use my favorites. Yeah, of course, yeah. And that's that's what I do. But I think the favorites, they count as memory as well, or presets. So yeah. So James Farley says yes, favorites. That's what I mean. Thank you. Yep. Okay. Danny says, he's answering to James. Right. Okay. So he's saying about the memory, the favorites, and Danny says you can store up to 150 favorite stations. Let me have a look, because it says here. Let me have a look. No, it's still saying 99 stations, but no, that information is wrong. Okay, the information is wrong. I'm looking at the Ocean Digital website, and it says up to 150. So it says here, of course, the 3 dedicated buttons and add to up to 150 presets. Okay, so yeah, you're right, Danny. It's not 99. It is 150. So 150. Okay. So with the other one, with this one, okay. So there. Yep. So Danny says up 99, but you can actually push it up to 150 stations combined with FM. Okay. So maybe 99 Wi-Fi, and then the rest will be FM or something like that. Yeah. Okay. Right. But I haven't gone that far. I mean, how many stations have I got as favorites on the other one? Maybe 20 or something like that. This one's 37, so I haven't pushed it that far yet. Okay then. So, like I said, this was my first portable Wi-Fi radio. Not my first one. The first one was the one you saw before, the Majority radio, which is the big bulky one. Those were the typical ones, I think, that were first sold back then. And yeah, but this one had this for some years. Very nice, and no need to do any battery going into the internal of the radio and all that. This one is absolutely fine. The battery's still good and all that. So yeah, no need to do any mods. This one here doesn't take the new one takes a USB Type-C connection. This one is a micro USB one. Okay, so I'm having to swap cables, because yeah, this was in the days when micro USB was more common. Yeah, but yeah, this one here, I still really like it. It actually feels more solid than the other one. Feels a bit, feels more better built. This one, I think the other one they used maybe cheaper plastics to keep the production costs down. But yeah, this one is definitely more, I feel it more solid, and I've dropped it a few times and look, still okay, still fine, still works. So yeah, okay, let's switch this off. So yeah, I was just wanted to show you my first portable Wi-Fi radio, which also happens to be an Ocean radio. Okay, so let's put this here. Danny says, yes, that's plenty. Most definitely, yes, most definitely. Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised, me, because I go mad. Well, hence my name, Mad Radio DXer. I wouldn't be surprised if I push it, push it up to 99 and then want more. So yeah. And Danny says, Ocean Digital makes some great Wi-Fi radios. They do. I just wish, though, that they made a battery compartment for replaceable batteries, like you'd be able to replace the 18650 battery inside here. It would have been, you could have a compartment, open it, take off the old one, put in the new one very easily, and that's it. But look, I've had to do this instead after I butchered by mistake, the internal connection here for the radio, for the battery. So yeah, but thankfully it still works fine. So yeah, okay then. So what I was going to do is I was going to check and see if I've got to switch on the battery pack here. I was going to check and see if Radio Exterior de España and Voice of Greece they have external language services on. Let's go to Radio Exterior de España first, because I think they should have a foreign language service on at 1800 hours UTC like they used to have in the past.
La alta velocidad entre Madrid y Andalucía por un incendio.
Francisco Pérez,
buenas tardes.
Buenas tardes, según han confirmado fuentes de Adif a Radio Nacional, ha sido
Let me just go back here. It's in Spanish still. I don't know why, but let me just... Wait, let's see, go back here to search history. Yeah, so no foreign language service on this one. I don't know why. Let me just go to Voice of Greece and see if they do have a foreign language service. No, nothing there. Okay, then. So still with the music on, Greek music on there. So yeah, maybe it might be the shortwave service of Radio Exterior de España. They have the foreign language service on now, but yeah, nothing here so far. Let me just have a look and see. I'm going to check shortwave info. I'm just going to see if the foreign language service of Radio Exterior de España is on now. Let me just have a look and see. Just have a look. Oh, okay. It's at 2200 hours UTC that they have the English service. Okay. Let me just, because they used to put on the Russian service, I think at 1800 hours. Just have a look. Oh, at 2200 hours as well. Okay, interesting. And it's only on one day of the week. Yeah, because I haven't really been listening to shortwave and Radio Exterior de España that much. So maybe they're cutting down on the foreign language services? I don't know. What was the other one they did? They did Arabic as well. Oh, only on Saturday, and the Russian service is on Sunday. Okay, interesting. And the English service, when did they offer it? Oh. The fourth day of the week, so Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday at 2200 hours. Okay. So maybe they've reduced the foreign language services again on of Radio Exterior de España. Huh. All right, okay. James Farley says, I'm getting some really powerful thunderstorms where I'm right now in New Jersey. Oh, okay, take care. Don't use your radio antennas. Otherwise, yeah, last thing you want is a thunderstorm to take down a lightning strike to take down one of your radios. Yeah. Danny says, maybe you should write to them. I plan to mention that when I make my review, Ocean Digital, please add a battery compartment access. Yes, because the other one I was looking at does have a battery compartment. It uses AA batteries, not a 18650 battery, but at least you're able to recharge them separately. I don't know if you can use the radio to recharge it as well, but I can recharge it separately and I can carry spares with me as well, just in case. So there, so at least I might get another radio, Wi-Fi radio, but let's see. And James answering to Danny about the storm. Danny says there's not many YouTubers talking about this radio. I plan to contact them soon, make some suggestions. Ask them to send you a free one. I would do that as well. Says Ocean, I've covered your radio on one of my videos. I've said nice things about it. Send me one for free. Yeah, and hopefully they won't do what a certain other manufacturer did when I think you asked them and they wouldn't send it to you. So yeah, or they just didn't reply like what they did with me. Yeah, so that other radio company, stuff them. I don't care about them anymore. And I see less than favorable reviews about a lot of less than favorable reviews about the Wi-Fi radio, even though it's cheap. I would stay away from it, me personally. So yeah. James Farley says all of my radio antennas are indoor right now. Good stuff. Yeah. So yeah. So keep them safe. Yeah. And Danny Radio says yes. I suppose about what I was saying about the that certain other radio company, and and all that. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I couldn't believe that. It was only once I asked them and all that, but yeah, I wasn't impressed when on my other, because when I had my other YouTube channel before I reopened this one again, it was monetized, and I had 3,000 subs and counting. And I said, look, I'm a radio YouTuber. I'll if you send me a free free copy, a free radio of yours of this model, I will do a review of it, but I'll be fair about it, and I will let you look at the video before I actually publish it. And no, they didn't want to. They just didn't want to know. No reply, nothing. So yeah, I want whatever. Right then. So Danny says, I will contact Ocean Digital soon. Yes, and let us know how you get on, Danny, and hopefully they'll send you a free radio where you can do an impartial, review and all that. Yeah. Okay then. So that's that. I'm just looking here. I don't know if there's some e-skip about. Let me just have a look. Let's see. I don't think there's been anything. Okay, nothing there. All right, okay. I thought there was some e-skip about, because I'm looking at people chatting on this Discord room that that's a DX group, and I thought there was mentions of e-skip, but there isn't. All right, okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start setting up my DAB. My SDR for DAB and the DAB antenna. So I'll be back with you in a moment. Just getting the antenna in here into the living room, the feeder cable. Just going to get my AirSpy. Okay. There you go. This is the AirSpy R2. I use this as well for DAB and for like Inmarsat and all that. This I made on my own. Just wrap some this USB cable around this ferrite core, so you can do it yourself as well if you want to save a little bit of money. If you don't want to buy an already made USB cable with a coil wrapped around it. So yeah, just to give you an idea, because I know Danny ordered one and it looks well made, and I might consider one myself too. Okay, right. So I'm just gonna connect it here to my USB port. I'll be taking off the camera in a moment. The screen will go black, and I'll be changing over to the DAB software that I use. Now it's just going to read, and you won't hear me, but I'll come in and chat a little bit in between. So James Farley says, back in the day, most of the E-skip and chopper happened when there was temperatures inversions. Yeah, I mean, the tropo still happens with the temperature inversions. The E-skip just seems to happen, whenever and wherever, during the late spring, summer, and early autumn season, depends. But yeah, lately the E-skip hasn't been that great so far. And it doesn't surprise me because the E-skip for the past few years hasn't been all that good either. Okay then, so let me just put this in. Okay. Right. Hopefully because I had a problem trying to get the window to display, sorry, OBS Studio to display my this application that I use now for DAB. So just one moment. Let's see if I can get it in. Right, screen's got to go black in a moment. Okay, so just going to remove the camera. Okay, right. I know. Hopefully you can still hear me. No, it's not coming out properly. No. All right. Okay. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to have to go and use the display option. Okay, just a moment, because it won't come out properly. Let's remove that. Let's just add this in. Oh, I've done it wrong. There you go. All right, you can see properly. Okay, I'm just gonna get rid of Discord. Don't want people's names to come up there. Okay. All right, so just gonna remove OBS Studio, and yeah, I'm just gonna turn off the microphone as well, so you can hear the. Well, in fact, I'm just gonna leave the microphone on when you're doing the when I'm doing the DAB scan. Okay, so just a moment. Just gonna remove this. Don't know if I can remove that. Let's see. Okay, so let's select all. Let's give it a one-time pass, and let's see how many channels it receives. The good thing about this software is that when you receive the multiplexes, it comes out on the map here. So that's a very good thing. I cannot see the chat at the moment, by the way, okay? So just to let you be aware. In fact, what I'm going to do is I might use my tablet to look at the chat, but I'll just give it a moment. Make sure the scan is going to work. Make sure my antenna is working properly. Oh, I think what I've done. Oh, hang on. Sorry. I've got the amplified, the signal booster on, and I think it's affecting the ability to receive signal. So just one moment. I'm just gonna take off the booster. Okay, so I've taken it off, and what we're going to do is we're going to start again our scan. Just have a look here. Yes, it's fine. Okay. Let me just check the chat very quickly. I know you're going to see the screen. Okay. So Yep, Abracadabra. That's the name of this application. Yes, and it's very good, and it's the one I use on my laptop. I've got it on Infinite Scan because you can select Infinite Scan here on this option number of cycles. Okay, I've got it on Infinite Scan, so I have it scanning overnight for DAB multiplexers, and yeah, it's I've posted a picture on the Discord. It receives multiplexers from France, from different parts of the UK, even like Ireland was a rare one, Ireland, but yeah, it picked up stuff from Ireland as well. So yeah, I was very pleased about that. And the thing is, it was by chance, right, that I could see that I was receiving Ireland, because I did a check very quickly on my laptop to see what I was receiving, and then when I saw it there, it says, "Oh, Ireland multiplex by DAB," or something like that. I was like, "Wow!" So I quickly went and did a quick scan of it. I think it's missing a multiplex here. I think. The thing with this one, I don't know. I don't think it says how many stations you receive. Let me just check. I know my other one. The other program I used to use, it would tell you how many stations you'd receive. Don't know if I can see it here. I mean, I can count all these, but yeah, I'd rather the program does it for myself, so I can get it. I can do an accurate count. See, look, you see there, it's concentrating in the UK. It's not getting anything from outside the UK, because I suppose there's no tropospheric conditions at the moment. But if there was, France would appear here. Okay, you'd get multiplexes from France, but so far it's all UK. Okay, and it stopped. Does it say how many stations I've received? No, it hasn't. But let me count. So 9 plus 15 equals 24. That would be 40, right? Because these are from the same multiplex. Okay, so I'm not going to count these. All right, so that's 40. That would be 71. That would be 86. Yeah. That would be 86 plus 17, 14, 15, 103. 103 plus 29 equals 142. That would be 159 stations. 159 stations it should have received. Okay, so there you go, 159, and that is without any tropospheric conditions. Okay, so that is under normal conditions. So there. On the distance column, you want to click on where are we? Here. So that's the shortest distance. So that's my local one, Southampton DAB, right? I mean, I know it's got Isle of Wight here, but it hasn't. This program probably hasn't got it on its database yet. That's about I don't know, maybe 30 kilometers away from me. It's around where are we? Around there somewhere. Okay, so where's it? There, look. So you see the blue dot? That's where I am. Okay, the blue dot. And the Isle of Wight. Here it is. Look, it's got it. It's actually here. Sorry. Yeah, look. Those are the multiplexes in the Isle of Wight. So maybe 20 to 30 kilometers away from me. Okay, so there. So shortest distance is 3 kilometers. Longest distance is 87 kilometers. And it's the one that's here. Be around these two dots you see there, the red ones. There it is, right? So I'm there. Those are the furthest ones I can get when there's no tropospheric conditions. Okay, so 86 kilometers. I don't know what my record is via DAB. I think it's maybe 700 kilometers or something like that. I don't know. And that was, I think, maybe Germany I had. But yeah, and the other day I got a French one that was 680 kilometers, but that was during tropospheric conditions as well. So yeah, so there you go. Look, yeah. So all this is what I get under normal conditions. Okay, all those multiplexes. Let's do another one. Let's do another scan and see what happens. So yeah, let me just check the chat again. Yep, Brighton Whitehawk 86.7 kilometers. So yep, that's the furthest I can get under normal conditions when there's no chopper or anything like that. Okay. So we'll just let it do another scan. I mean, this program Abracadabra here, for anybody that is lucky enough to have DAB and likes and wants to do overnight DAB scanning, get this version. The version I recommend, because apparently some people say the new versions crash regularly, is this one. Version 3.99.2. Get that version, because that one it's still available. You just look at the older downloads and it's there. This is the one I recommend, because apparently the newer ones I've heard they crash regularly. So just get that one. James Farley says, have you ever picked up anything from Wales? Yes, I picked up, in fact, the other day, multiplexes from around this area here, the Cardiff area and all that. So yeah, I recorded it. In fact, I recorded it, and yeah, hang on a second, see if I've got it. Don't know if I've got it in my videos somewhere. Let me just have a look. I know it's on. Oh, I don't know what's happened. It's on my other drive, so I can't show it at the moment. But yeah, but I did. I will upload it, James. I received DAB multiplexes from Wales, and it was on the same night that I had DAB multiplexes from round here, Ireland, Cork. Yeah, so I'll be doing that, James. So yeah, nothing from France, still going to, UK centric at the moment. Turn off my Wi-Fi radio. Didn't realize it was on. And I think that's it. Okay, so let me just count again what I've got. I think it's the same as well. It was about, was it 159 stations or something I had? Okay, we're going to count again. So 9 plus 15 equals 24. Plus 16 equals 40. 71 stations there. Now 86. 14, 15, 16, 17, 103. 1, 2, 3. 103, 1, 2, 3, 132. Right, I said 143 before. Sorry, it should have been. Sorry, I said 142 before. It's actually 132. So my bad. This is why I wanted it to do it for me, the program. So that's 148. So 148 stations. Okay, so 148. Let me just make sure I'm doing this properly. Let's go to here. So let's go back here. 9 plus 15 plus 16, that's 40, plus 31, plus 15, plus 17, plus 29, plus 16. There you go, 148 stations, as you can see there. Okay, 148 stations I've received. And how many multiplexes have I received? We're not going to count the duplicate ones. We're just going to count the individual ones for individual areas. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 multiplexes, okay? So I'm not counting the duplicate ones because you've got more than one multiplex for, like more than one DAB transmitter for an area. So it's 8 multiplexes, I would say, in total on a normal day with no conditions at all. Let me just go back to the chat here. Danny says that is still good for normal radio station at that frequency. What antenna are you using? It's a DAB dipole. Okay, so let me just go here. Let me just, because I was going to do a video about this. Let's go there. This is the one here. If I can get it there. This one. This is the one that, because it's the building owners that supply it. Okay, it's this one here. Okay, in the same orientation and all. Right, as you can see there, DAB dipole aerial, 175 to 230 megahertz, which is the frequency range of DAB, and there you are. So that's the one that I use, but really it's supplied by the building owners. Okay, so yeah, because remember I'm in rented accommodation. Something more ideal would be this one. You see this one here? Let me just go there. It's like a tri-band DAB antenna. That's more ideal for DAB to get more signal gain. Okay, but the one I have is, it still works good. Like I said, I've been able to receive DAB from outside the UK, and yeah, this one here on the left, that's an FM dipole, but this one here would be the one I would want ideally. But in any case, though, see this one here as well. When it happens, there you go. This one here, that one's a better one. Well, sorry, not a better one. Sorry, didn't mean that. I meant it's the one that I use, and it's still good because it's actually placed quite high. And like I said, if you place an antenna quite high, it's still really good. So, yeah, I mean, the Omni antenna is more or less in the same. It's on the same pole as the the DAB antenna and the TV antenna for this building. Yeah, it's on more or less the same height. And with Omni antennas for FM band, they're still really good. I mean, I know you used one as well, Danny, and yeah, that's these antennas are really good. So there you are. That's what I use as a DAB antenna. Okay, DAB dipole. Okay. Let me just go back here. Where is it? Here we go. Right, so there. Okay then. So then, let me just go back here. Let's have a little listen to these stations, right? Let me just take down. So I'm just going to mute myself and I'm going to put the desktop audio.
Poetry, you had started when you were 14. You're still doing it at 89 now.
Only as and when things inspire me. I'm not as prolific as I used to be. Well, I love the under fives and under sevens who hands off little children. So I try to teach them through my stories.
Yeah.
I think if you write stories to help teach them.
That's right, because there's very often a moral aspect to the writing, isn't there?
Definitely.
Yeah. So, do you have a group of friends or contemporaries? You're very much belonging to the WI. You do your knitting, you do your crafts, but do you do any creative writing together? Do you share stories?
I belong to WI, and we have a poetry group once a month. We go for a coffee and we write a poem on the subject that is set. I think this month it's heat.
doesn't surprise me in the slightest.
I should come up with something, even if it's only about the change.
Yeah. So. Where perhaps weren't given the impetus to do it, or they've been busy with work or family or life.
Don't know how to way you
sins. That's how God's love was poured out. And then we saw
bizarre set of comments. Claire, what do you make of them?
I'm absolutely appalled. Appalled even at Joe Rogan for no pushback. One murder when
good for an upset, but I think, you know, that the quality in this French roster is so incredible that I think arriving now in the last 8, they will move on. I think that
disrupting Ayatollah Ali Khamenei's burial. Meanwhile, Tehran has retaliated by firing ballistic missiles at an American airbase in Jordan.
Home, to do as you please, to just have an endless supply of ice lollies and to sit with your feet dangling in a paddling pool. I mean, that would be bliss right now. Benny King playing soon and The Verve here on Virgin.
T16 won the British Academy's Ivor Novello Award for Outstanding Song.
It's taking over the chart.
Mono's next.
Virgin Radio Legends.
Welcome to the Money Supermarket training.
On TFI Unplugged tomorrow night on Channel 4. Now I have a WhatsApp voice note here.
Hi, Jeff.
Hi.
Is it okay to invite someone to join you in a karaoke duet of Ebony and Ivory?
Is it okay to ask someone to join you in a karaoke duet of Ebony and Ivory? I don't. There might be some reason why not that I'm struggling to see. I can't think of one, but give it 2 minutes and I'll give you an answer.
Sprinkling my breadcrumbs.
Really?
Yeah. I know. To me, the 30 years ago, still the 1960s.
So it's 70s for me, 30 years ago. But yeah, so obviously they played Southampton. It was fine. It was lovely.
Yeah, and it was a nice evening as well. Yeah. Perfect evening to be outside.
Yeah. And with that track, it was when Skunk and Nancy and Skin, they come out
There's lots of
with
bouncing,
umbrellas
wasn't there?
and joined Garbage on the stage, which was
It's another one of my concoctions.
You broke my heart.
Okay. So they're £2.85 this year. So were you close? Were you far off? To be honest, people are outraged because they are up from £2.50, which was the first price increase for 15 years apparently. And I just think £2.85 for a nice little refreshing snack is incredible. And to be honest, even if they were charging like £6 for a box of strawberries, there would be even more outrage. But I know I'd definitely buy it, especially with the heat of all you see in the
all day and just letting
waiting
those
around
nerves...
stressful, but like playing at 11 and getting up at like 7 and going through this whole
And were you
routine.
finishing as late as they are now in your night matches?
We finished a few matches into the wee hours, 12.
Dumbo, didn't he? Which was much darker, more sinister, very Tim Burton-esque. And I don't think that had the same effect either.
That was one of their least successful ones. And of course, that's made them shy away from that. I mean, you can go, on the flip side, you could go, this is what audiences want. It's the summer holidays. You've got to take your kids to something. And
or faux humble. I think he's a Mozartian kind of genius, a weird innocent with the combined power of both otherworldliness and utterworldliness. I'm thinking of doing a movie.
You're going to be a big band in some way. Bleach 93.
That's what I'm back at. My thing working perfect.
Yeah. But at least he can cheat.
As we've reported already for you, there's been outrage from Egyptian fans and the country's football association about perceived injustices suffered at the hands of the referee of that game, Francois Letexier. But, Manny, he's received very strong support from the man who's effectively his boss.
Yes, one of Egypt's scorers, Mohamed Zico, who had another goal disallowed infamously after a VAR check, said the match was, quote, rigged, while the Egyptian FA called for Francois Letexier to be kicked out of the tournament. But FIFA's chief refereeing officer, Pierluigi Collina, has said this: nobody can question the integrity of the FIFA World Cup match officials. When this happens, it may provoke reactions that lead to threats against them and their families. This is not right. The Egypt coach, Hossam Hassan, suggested that FIFA want Argentina and Lionel Messi to stay in the competition, but Collina added, nobody can claim that FIFA refereeing can be influenced by anyone, not even the FIFA president. Match officials make honest decisions, and just like players and coaches, they all try to do their best.
Manny, thank you. That is our football reporter, Manny Jasmi. There's plenty more on the World Cup on our website, bbc.com/sport.
Live on the BBC World Service, this is Sport Today with Naz Faruqi.
Thank you for your company this Thursday onto the third tennis Grand Slam. His women's semi-finals day at Wimbledon. Delith Lloyd is on centre court.
Will play host to an all-Czech final.
Mukova, this for the Wimbledon final. She now has a backhand and an open court, but Goff fills the open court with her speed. Now she's chasing another forehand, but she nets! It's the moment of Karolina Mukova's life! She has beaten Coco Gauff.
Match point number 2 to Linda Noskova. Backhand reply. Kostyuk with a forehand. It's wide! The 21-year-old is in the Wimbledon final. She has just secured...
Okay. Right, let me just exit that. Let me just put the antenna back. Just in your message, Danny, just one moment. Okay. back there as it was before. I've got to switch on the radio. Yeah, I'm going to be ending the stream in a moment anyway. So, yeah. Okay, so Danny says, flash flood warning alert on my weather radio station on my scanner. Oh, okay. Yeah, hopefully you'll be okay. Yeah. Yeah, I wish we had weather alerts, weather radio stations like that in the UK, but no, they don't have them. Right. Okay. So, what we have here now? Just normal music on Voice of Greece. Okay then. So that was this stream that I just wanted to do about using my Wi-Fi radios, and of course a little DAB scan as well. Sorry I couldn't do it with this radio, but again, it's because using when I'm inside the house, there's hardly any DAB signal, and this is the problem with DAB radio compared to FM, is that FM is more robust and I can get local stations. In fact, I haven't used the FM band on this. Hang on. Before we go away, let's see what the FM reception is like indoors. This is on memory, by the way. And let's see if we can get our local station. Thank you, James. Yeah, I'm still going to do this for a little bit and then I will go. And yeah, so we're going to do a little bit of the FM band here. See what we can get. A little trick here for this. Let's see if it works. That if you want to do manual tuning with this Ocean Radio, when you're on a frequency on the FM band, just press the OK button for a little while until the word tuning comes out here. Okay, so we're just going to see if we can get our local BBC station. It should be here. Oh, really bad. Really, really bad. Oh dear. Okay. And again, it's, well, the noise and all that I get at home. Oh. Let's see if it gets BBC Radio 4.
Peasants who cuckold their simpleton husbands. The fourth about flying peasants. And the fifth and sixth chapters about folktale theory. None of which he'd read yet. I think, he said, Vermont is a little different.
BBC Radio 4, there no RDS because the signal is not strong enough, but yeah.
Andrews. Miles and Kate, their two children and their dog, set out across country and eventually find a very different America, a place with subterranean mysteries.
Yeah, so yeah, that's what I was saying about DAB, was that you have to have, if you're using a DAB radio at home, make sure you've got good signal indoors. If not, you're going to have to put, like what I had to do before, put this on the window ledge to get some signal, or you use an external antenna. Of course, you cannot connect it to this. I've, either use my SDRs, which average Joe, your normal Joe is not going to have. All the us radio geeks have SDRs. Or like I use my Yamaha tuner. That's on my hi-fi setup. That accepts an external antenna connection for DAB, which is my, like I said, it's my Yamaha DAB tuner. I featured it in the past on my channel. I don't think it's on my new channel. It's on when I had my other channel as well. So there. All right then. So I'm going to end. I will end the stream now. Thank you everyone for watching. Thank you, James. Thank you, Danny. Thank you, Tasso. And I think that was all. I think that was everyone that has taken part in the chat. Yeah. And thank you anyone that passed by watching. Thank you all, and I will see you next time. Take care.